Hey y'all, Ramdino here, coming at you once again for another Appalachian Trail Thru Hiker update. Lots of things have been going on the channel this week. We got a ton of folks we added. There's still 2019 folks that are out there finishing, so let's go ahead and get on with the update. So folks that have summited from the class of 2019, Sweets and Borderline, they have summited at Springer, and congratulations to them. Young Bull, Hot Sauce, Mule, and Avid, they are finally out of the Smokies. They got stuck in Gatlinburg when the weather came through last week, and we had snow on the road that leads down into Gatlinburg, and so from Newfound Gap, that closed. They were there for days, and as a matter of fact, I think some of them even went home when it looked like they weren't going to get out. But they finally got out. They're finally out of the Smokies, and they are heading on somewhere between Fontana and the Knox. So we'll talk about the weather in a little bit, but it's going to be a little dicey for them this week. But they are charging through, and they are going to be finishing up here probably next week. So we look forward to their exciting finish there at Springer. Those are the only folks I've got right now that I'm aware of are still out there on the trail. If you know of somebody that's still out there on the trail, please let me know. Or if you are someone who's still out there on the trail, please let me know. We want to keep up with you, and we want to celebrate with you when you get to Springer, or if you're a flip-flopper, wherever you're stopping your hike and going to be finishing up. So we're pumped up about the final folks coming in for the class of 2019. Speaking of weather for the class of folks that are still out there, and this goes into effect even for the class of 2020 that started, and there are folks that have already started. So this week, after today, today being Sunday, Monday looks like possibly a decent day, but rain starts moving in, and it moves in pretty much for the rest of the week. And I'm giving these forecasts for different shelters. So at Blue Mountain Shelter in Georgia, and that's somewhere, you know, obviously north of the first place where people stop, and that's there at Mountains Crossing. But Blue Mountain Shelter there in Georgia, the daytime temps are going to be in the high 50s to the low 60s, with the nighttime temps are going to be in the high 40s. So it's not going to get freezing down there, but you're going to be having a tremendous amount of rain moving in. And here's a weather map kind of showing you what accumulations you can expect starting Tuesday and expecting over the rest of the week. And so there's going to be a lot of rain coming in, so hopefully you've got some decent rain gear out there. And then Cold Spring Shelter, and that is between the Knock and Winding Stair Gap there at Franklin in North Carolina. It's going to rain pretty much all week except for Thursday and Friday, and then it starts raining again this weekend. But your high is going to be in the high 50s during the day, and at night it's going to be in the 40s, except for Friday night when it actually drops down to 36. So these temps are based upon altitude from the Appalachian Trail weather app, which is based upon supposed to take into account the altitude. But when you start getting around 36, you know, it could drop even further than that, so you might want to be sleeping with those Sawyer squeezes. Current registrations we've got for the Appalachian Trail Thru Hikers for 2020. We got last week we had SOBO 1,043, and this week we've got 1,497. And March 1st and February 29th, we've got 50 hikers on each one of those days. So according to the ATC, the trail is maxed out. Now, they based that maxing it out on, they had to come up with a number based from the National Park Service required them to do so. Not sure how they came up with that number, would really like to know, because my personal opinion is 50 is way past the max. But just because you've reached the max, they don't shut down the trail, they don't keep people from getting on it or anything else, so those numbers will probably go even higher. And then SOBO, we've got 49 that that were registered to start last week, and this week we've got 59 folks starting that are registered so far. And then flip-floppers, we had 47 this week, and this week we got 52. So that brings us up to a total from last week we had 1,403, and this week we've got 1,608 folks that are total registered. So well below what the final registrations was for last year, but those will continue to climb as we start getting closer and closer to when people are going to be stepping off. But that's an increase even at that over last year of somewhere around 30%. This time last year, January 12th, we had 1,235 folks registered compared to 1,608, and that is based upon data when I started keeping track of it last year. So trail starts, we had, according to Amicole Falls, and Erin down there at Amicole Falls, I appreciate her putting up with my weekly calls down there. We had 5 folks that started this past week, and we were up to bag tag number 19. So only 19 people started. And a couple folks that started this week, Subman and Suds, they started, and they are somewhere past Woody Gap. They are new to our list, and they are updating through Trail Journal. So if you'll go to that list there down in the description section where I have all the hikers, then we'll talk about that in a minute, but I've got all the hikers there that we're tracking right now on a Google spreadsheet. So go there and take a look at that. Folks that we have added to that Google spreadsheet from last week, we have added Tony Mayfield, Daniel Spaeth, Fred Beck, also known as 3 Mile, and 3 Mile right now, he is not on the AT, but he is actually hiking the Pinhoti Trail to get to the AT, and then he will, once he hits the AT, and I think he has to take the a different trail once to connect those two up. The can't remember the name of the trail now, but anyway, he's got to take a different trail to hook up. He'll hook up there with that trail to hook up the AT sometime toward the end of January. 1st of February is what his plans are, and then he will continue all the way to north to Katahdin. John Lavigny Jr. Is signed up, and somebody that we've added new to the list this week. Gary Daly, also known as 2 Knee. Paul and Rika Silver, and they are trail names Slider and Granger. Michelle DeSanctis. Christy Gatto, trail name Polar Bear. Mark Ewing, his trail name is Lost. Joe and Steve Smithwick. Gretchen Pardon, her trail name is Braids, and she has spent a lot of time in the Smokies. So she's done, like, I think the Smokies have 900 miles of trails, and I think she's done them all in the Smokies. So she will know the Smokies like the back of her hand when she gets there. We also added Brian, don't have a last name for Brian or a trail name, Barry Mitchell, Subman and Suds. And then we added kind of a tramway that's going to be hiking together. Sevda Allen, her trail name is Happy Dancer, and she is hiking with Dad's Grin and Ferryman. And then we added Free Tickets and Lipstick, and Free Tickets is a husband and wife team. Don't know the wife's name. The husband's name is Steve Pennington. So we look forward to all of those folks. They are all over on the thru hiker list that I've got on this Google spreadsheet that is down. You can reach that through in the description section. If you know of somebody that's not on that list, please let me know. We want to get them on that list. Or if you're a thru hiker and you're not on that list, send me your information, and the information I need is down in the description section there. And if you'll send that to me either at my email at ramdinoroamingthetrails@gmail.com, or you can go to my Facebook page and send it to me in a message at Facebook page is Ramdino Roaming the Trails, or through a message in my Instagram, which is Ramdino, or you can just leave a comment down in the comment section here, and I will add you to that list. And the idea is that folks will go to that list and they will subscribe to your channels, social media links that are on that list, and they'll support the thru hikers all the way to the Katahdin. So I'd appreciate it if you do that. Help me build the hiker community, help me support the thru hikers as they go on their trek and their quest all the way to the Katahdin, or all the way to Springer, or all the way in between, whichever direction they are going. So right now we are tracking over 148 hikers. We want to keep adding to that, so we're excited about that. And we're also starting to track trail angels. So we had several trail angels on there now, and we added some from last week. Some of those trail angels that we added, or all the trail angels that we added from last week, we added Eric Collin and Mike Burton. And what I've done is I've added kind of their area of operation where they're going to be doing trail angel work. So in the case of Fresh Ground, he's going to be all the way up to Katahdin and all the way back down. But then some people just kind of have a particular area, and certainly that's normal to have a particular area. So we look forward to seeing what they've got. If you're a trail angel and you want to be added to that list, please send me your information, your contact information. If you want people to contact you from the trail, I'll be glad to add that to the list. Trail news out there. Well, I wanted to include that we had Free Walker had his son that is going to be going with him on the trail, and his son's name is Felipe Martinez Fontes, and he's known as Walden, and he'll be hiking with his father Evandro, known as Free Walker. And then Rerun, who was going to hike this year on his thru hike, has decided that along with his family that this is not the year that he needs to do that, and so he is going to do that another year, just not this year. So, but he is going to get out there and do some section hikes, and so we look forward to what Rerun's going to have to do out there. I am actively searching for starters right now. I've only got a couple that I mentioned before that are out there that are starting, and that couple was Subman and Suds. They've already started, and then I've got Happy, who's on the trail. And so I am looking for other folks out there. I know that 19 people are on the trail. Don't know if they all got social media accounts, but if you know of anybody out there, please send them my way. Lots of hikers, thru hikers, putting out videos out there. All of those are really great videos. Enjoyed watching them. Can't give everybody a shout out, but there is a couple folks I want to give a shout out to there. Be Still on the Trail. His trail name's PTL, and he gave us his big 3. And then Nutty Hiker, she showed us what she's going to be taking for electronics. And then my personal favorite video is one that Pickleball put out this week, and that was a thank you to somebody very special that's out there in the hiker community. I just thought that was a great tribute that he did. So Pickleball, appreciate that. If you want to know who that person is, go to Pickleballs. It's also known as Dennis Chazet, I believe is his name. He's French, French Canadian, and go check his channel out. It's got a great channel. And once again, Pickleball, greatly enjoyed that video this week. So thanks a lot. Again, there's tons of folks out there. The best way that you can do is subscribe to this channel. And then you can go to the description section and you'll find the link to the list for everybody out there. And then by subscribing, you'll get my updates every week whenever that tells you who we've added, what's going on the trail. Certainly when we hit the hiker season in earnest, then I'll be giving updates on what's going on with the folks on the trail, who's had to come in, who's still out there, how folks are doing, so on and so forth. So look forward to doing that. Take a look down there in our Hikers Helping Hikers section. A lot of good folks down there that you can help out, that help the hikers, and in particular Fresh Ground with the Leapfrog Cafe. Fresh Ground right now is doing a fundraiser so that he can do like he did last year and go all the way up to Katahdin and all the way back to Springer, and then even stayed out longer than that. So I think he was out about 8 months, and that takes money to do that. But he helps out so many thru hikers and even section hikers and just everybody out there. So if you would go right now, we're trying to get Fresh Ground to his goal and even beyond this month. So if you'll look down the description section, you'll find a link to Fresh Ground's Facebook page, and then you can go to his Facebook page, click on that, and go to his About section, and there you'll find all the ways you contribute. So I'm going to put out a challenge that every thru hiker or section hiker, since he helps both, that hears this will go to Fresh Ground's channel and give some donation, no matter what, whether it be 150, 20, 10, 5, whatever you think you can spare. If you're a thru hiker, I know that you've got a specific budget out there, but I can tell you, if you run into Fresh Ground and he feeds you, whatever he feeds you will more exceed than your donation. And not only that, you're helping out other thru hikers. So go there to his Facebook page and give to Fresh Ground, help him meet his goal and even surpass that goal. And let's do that. I want to do that before the end of January. So we got about 2 weeks to do that. Well, folks, that is all I got this week. Coda is going to try to knock his camera over. As always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out here. And support you in comments. Coda, you're killing me, bud.